Let me ask you a question real quick. Does evil exist? And if so, can one detect and measure it? Rhetorical question, Morty. The answer's yes, you just have to be a genius.
You guys are in a situation right now where you could have a romantic interest and they have a way as far as looking at people in their environment as, more like, oh, well, they don't really listen. Dragon energy can be very stubborn in their perspective. They look at life where it's like, okay, I lived it, I've been in it. Their way has this only way type of pride level to it, okay? And with them being in a space where they have the knowledge, with them having the wisdom, it can sometimes translate into an arrogance, especially when they're in new opportunities, new love opportunities, because they're looking back at the situation through their past lens and not really looking at the situation in the present type of moment. You guys are having this person look at their interaction with you from another lens. You guys know that this dragon energy can have this level of pride in their interaction, and you're like, hey, I need for you to be present in the now and not looking back and getting answers from your past and putting them into our conversation, or not really paying attention to what I'm talking to you about, or not really paying attention to what are some things that are affecting my day to day. If I'm running into some issues that I'm facing, you're not even giving me the right type of insight behind it, because you're looking at your past relationships and you're like, okay, well, I heard the first 3 minutes of the conversation. Here's the answer. Okay. It's not looking at the situation from a wise lens like dragon energy. It has that wisdom behind it where it's like they're looking at, could be looking at their past, could be looking at their present, but they're still in the motion or in the moment with people in their environment. You're breaking this person down when it comes down to having this prideful type of mindset, okay? Because you're really expanding on how they look at people, in this sort of like this jaded perspective. You guys are letting this person know that people need their presence in the now. Okay, they don't need to be dismissive when it comes down to interactions that they're trying to grow and develop, because it's all about that learning process. You do take wisdom from your past, and you do take understanding when it comes down to developing interactions in a proper type of way. But you guys are like, no one knows everything. Okay, no one knows everything, and with a person who's new in your journey, new in your pathway, in a love romantic type of sense, it's all about the the journey together, and all about the taking the time to really see how this person really operates, taking that time to really understand them from another lens, not from a wounded lens from the past, okay? And this person could be very much so shocked that you're able to identify some of their mess in the interaction and the communication, because they could have gotten away with this for a while. Okay, when it came down to their interaction and communication. And a lot of times, they could have picked a lot of partners who were not emotionally mature. And instead of expressing themselves, saying, hey, you can't just not listen or not be emotionally present in the situation and sort of go into your own little bubble when it comes down to, being avoidant in the relationship. Okay, and the people in the past could have been very much so, hands off, and they tried to, raise this person's temper to get attention. You guys are not playing any juvenile games, okay? And this person's not used to seeing that, people can operate just like them on an emotional, secure level, okay? To have that conversation, to nip things in the bud, to say, hey, you know what? Let's address this now so it won't be any type of, mess in our interaction. You guys are not scared to walk away. This person's realizing that you have a lot of things you're bringing to the table when it comes down to expanding the interaction, and you guys are not just settling for someone who is trying to, not be present on an emotional level with you, okay? You guys are not being in a space where you're allowing this person to just keep on going with their mess. Okay? This person's realizing with you guys being emotionally present in the situation, you guys are in a space where you're able to navigate it properly with them, but they have to put in their work in the situation as well, okay? It can't just be a one-sided emotional type of level, okay? Let's go into your tarot deck here. Let's pull a couple of cards for you. So you have the Sun card here, okay, Mal. You also have here the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Lovers here. With communication and proper work, your relationship is able to grow. Okay, you guys are able to sort of move forward in a healthy type of direction, but they have to be there on an emotional type of level and be present in the situation, because without that conversation, not without having that understanding, they're going to be stuck and they really lose out on the opportunity. Okay, let's pull a few more cards. We got a magician, which you are waking this person out of their comfort zone. They're looking to really be present, to really work on the situation with you and not be tied to their past. Okay. You learn from situations, but you can't take on that same energy when you're looking for a healthy relationship to grow. Okay? Let's see here. Now I'm taking that. So we had the Ace of Swords, the Truth. And, we had the Four of Swords in reverse. You guys are no longer taking the mess. You're taking those swords out of your bag from improper communication, okay? 2 more cards here. So we had the Queen of Cups and 1 more card. We have here, actually 2 came out. So we had the 3 of Wands in reverse and we had the 9 of Cups, okay? Let's get started. Like I said, you guys are in a happy space because you're like, you're letting things be known. Sun card here, you have the 8 of Pentacles here. You letting things be known like, hey, I'm not going to be in a situation where people are not equally growing and they're not equally investing in a situation. This is not your past. This is the present. We're looking to be healthy in this present type of moment. Okay, to be in this lover's perspective, we have to have an understanding as far as how we operate in the now. Okay, we have to have a knowledge and having that that loving presence with the connection to know that things are developing as time is moving forward with you guys. Okay, you're not in a space where you're stagnant. You're not in a space where you're just stuck in that past perspective. With the love of the situation, that comes from being, like I said, being emotionally present and being able to work on it in an effective type of way, okay? And you guys are going to see that the Magician card here, with the proper work, you're going to get that type of, long-lasting relationship, okay? It's all about the investment, okay? And this person doesn't want to miss out on an opportunity because you're willing to put in the work, okay? But you're not allowing your past situation to really take a presence of the now for you, okay? That's the truth of the matter. The Ace of Swords, you're spreading the truth to this person, okay? You're like, hey, we're having this conversation so you know where I am on this mental level, okay? And I'm letting you know that I see what you're doing. I see that you're, not really taking this in a serious type of way, okay? And if that's the case, I'm leaving the relationship. So I'm not scared to walk away when things don't serve you, okay? Like I said, this person knows that, the four of Swords, and they have to take that decision to heart, okay? Being wise in the decision that, hey, if this person is not seeing me be present in this relationship, they're walking away, okay? And I think for them, holding on to this stubborn behavior, holding on to the past, it will have them in a place of stagnancy. So they're slowly taking these swords of the past out of their back, okay? They're slowly taking those, those know-it-all moments, out of their mindset and really saying, okay, you know what? I did experience things in the past. I have had past experiences with people and really learned a lot of things along my way, but I have not had that type of perspective, with the collective. I have not gone through this process with them, so I need to be really fresh in my mindset with really knowing how to handle proper communication and proper interaction so I can move forward successfully, because if I don't, then guess what? I can lose the interaction, okay? Having that mindset where you guys are putting in that wisdom and having that emotional maturity is really having this person shocked, because they're not used to dealing with people on that emotional maturity type of level, okay? They're used to people who, like I said, they spiral out of control. They try to, sway their emotional weight in a very toxic type of way. You guys don't have time for the mess. You guys are breaking down your emotions in a logical type of way, okay? And this person is seeing this is very new for them, so they're looking at you from a space of being shocked. But you guys are letting this person know, hey, you know what? There's nothing shocking to look at, okay? This is just how, adults interact when it comes down to really forming that investment, okay? You got 3 Wands in reverse. You're not walking away for the situation. You're willing to put in the work, but you're willing to put in the work if someone else is doing their due diligence to grow with you as well, okay? Because this person knows that you look bad all by yourself, okay? You don't need them to have a good life, okay? You don't need them to really grow in a partnership, okay? And they realize that, having that wisdom, this person ain't silly, okay? They're not stupid behind their eye and their wisdom here, okay? This dragon energy knows that, okay, if I let this person go, I'm losing a good thing. And guess what? If they go away from me and they close the door in the situation, I put it on myself because I was not there on an emotional level to really put my focus onto this individual. Okay, I cannot be in my place as far as being reclusive or being emotionally distant and not really present and think that you're going to get the same type of interaction or the same type of healthy relationship, with someone who's actively investing in the interaction. Okay, you're not going to get the same thing. When you don't invest, you don't get anything healthy back.
Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant. Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant.